Good evening, racing fans. Welcome to Racing Action from Grand River Raceway for this Wednesday evening. And it is a grand evening here in Elora, Center Wellington, nonetheless. Mostly blue skies overhead. Track listed as fast, the announcer listed as slow. Let's get a look at the changes on this evening's card of racing. Race number 1. No changes. No changes, race number 1. Race number 2, scratched is 1 Southwind Maritime. Number 2, keep watching, bridle change, open bridle to blinkers, open to blinkers. Scratched is number 6, a sham of amber, race 1, scratch 1 and 6. In the third dash, well, never mind the third. How about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8? No changes. No changes. Races 3 through 8. Race number 9, number 4, TT Conway, scratched. Race 9, 4, TT Conway, scratched. And race number 10, no changes. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Race number 1, there are no changes. And in race number 2, note we have scratches of 1 and 6 and 2 keep watching, bridle change, open bridle to blinkers. 18 minutes to post time to welcome in our handicapping experts. And Rob, you weren't here Monday evening, so I couldn't fire any bullets at you. We don't have any racing on Friday, so prepare for a triple dose. I'm going to get all over you tonight. How you doing, buddy?
All right. Hey, listen, I'm doing fantastic. Monday off, so surprised that I'm actually getting it right tonight. It's a wonderful Wednesday here at Grand River Raceway. And Gary always says, the announcer's listed as slow. I'm gonna say, see, he's taking shots at me. I'm going to say the announcer's listed as sharp because I love his race calls, and he's always got a few up his sleeve. I know we're going to hear some of those tonight. We've got 10 dashes here this evening at the river. Obviously, that great betting menu. And the cool thing about nights like tonight, we take center stage, for racing in Ontario and beyond. So the pools are usually a little bit bigger. There's more at stake, and these are the nights that I love because you really want to fire away in those multi-leg wagers and those super high fives. And of course, we get started off right in race 1 with that pick 5 with a guaranteed pool of $2,500. And Gary and I will come back in about 8 minutes to post to break down our suggested tickets for that wager. a wonderful Wednesday. And you know what time that is? It's time to take a look at the Pick 5 sequence. Guaranteed pool, $2,500. And this is one tonight that I think is a little bit challenging, more so because of the scratches that we had. It really kind of left me scrambling in the 11th hour with my ticket and my selections. But hey, that's the name of the game sometimes, right? So let's take a look at the ticket that I have mapped out for you this evening. And give a shout out right now to Ralphie on Twitter. My man Ralphie, he, uh, he let me know that my selections may have been wrong that I posted, and they were. I actually was living in the past and posted different day selections, but they are right now. So if you follow me on Twitter at Robert Reed Jr., the selections are now correct on the old Twitter machine. Let's look at this pick 5, though, folks. And in the opener, we're going to go 3 deep, 5, 6, and 9. Headline maker is going to be my top choice, sitting at a juicy 25-1 right now. I think he's got a big chance tonight, so that price would be nice to hold up. I don't think it will. Also using Rose, Run, Why Not, and Yeti Set Go. So 3 deep here in the opener. Race 2, that was the one where the scratches really threw a curveball at me because I was going just 2 deep. The 1, Southwind Maritime, and the 6, A Sham of Amber. Both are scratched. So now I'm going to go with the 2, 4, and 5. Keep watching Chocolate Milk Toast and Millie's Million, but I'll be honest, that race is not one that I feel very clear on. So wouldn't even begrudge someone from taking the all button in there. I think it's become a very difficult race in the second. Race number 3, the 1, 3, and 4. I like Hot Fudge Sunday, Fortune Teller's Cave. Both those horses have early speed, might be blasting out of there. Run Like Kill, though, is the one I think you have to beat. Has not gotten respect very much in recent weeks. I think he will, though, this time around. I think he probably ends up being the favorite, but we're going to go 1, 3, and 4 in race number 3. Race 4 is going to be our single, the 1, Diamond Rock. I think you just have to look to his last effort when he almost got there against Adrenaline Rush and think that's going to kind of be the name of the game tonight. Get away well off the gate and hopefully, either go all the way on the engine or sit the 2-hole and get there. No Adrenaline Rush this time to chase, so Diamond Rock is my single in race number 4. That's the 1. And then in race 5, just too deep for me. I think the inside two can control the race. I really do. Charmbo Bree is plunging down in class, coming over from Mohawk Park. We've seen that work before. But Layla Blue was incredible last time. I was fond of her on that occasion. I'm going to come right back to her again tonight. Think she's going to have a chance to go out there and double up. Lifetime mark last time, and think that she can really build on that. So 1 and 2 in the final leg for me. $10.80 is the ticket, but let's see what Gary Guy's got in store for us tonight.
Well, the first race, I do think it's hard to handicap, and I do have 4 in there. I have the 2, 5, 6, and 9, so I've added to all our wishes. Yeah, moves up, but a couple of wins in the past 3, so I want to include the 2. Second race, well, I have a couple, the 2 and the 7. I've been watching Premier Bettina get better and better this year, and I think especially that last race at Georgian Downs, mile of 54, good back half, compares well. Love to see that one win in there and help the price because I think the 2 might be the favorite. In race number 3, I think we see it the same way, and I like Run Like Hill in there, but I have the 1, 3, and 4. Fourth race, Diamond Rock, I think is going to rock. And in race number 5, I do have Layla Blue on top, but I went also with 3, Sea of Hope. I know you went with the Charmbro Brie added in there, but I went Sea of Hope instead. But $9.60 is how I think I calculated the math. I think that might be right.
Yeah, I think it's right as well. And Gary, we've got 9 chances for us to both punch a winning ticket tonight.
Well, I hope it's not one of those.
Of course you don't. But I do, because I'm a team player, and this is our last chance this week to cash a pick 5 or any ticket at the river for that matter. Of course, racing does resume on Monday, but we're not racing Friday nights. But there you have it, folks. Gary and I see it similarly. We have similar ticket structures. We have the same single, just a few different things here and there in between. You've got 4 minutes, though, to map out your winning wagers for this pick 5 sequence. Again, the guaranteed pool is $2,500. We'll come back after the post break, take a closer look at the opening dash.
Field for race number 1 is on parade. 1, Trade Barrier, Alfie Carroll for Richard Carroll and Angela Carroll. And number 2 is All Our Wishes, Brent Madonna for Paul Cameron and TJ Stables. Number 3 is Lady Montague, Scott Kohler for Mike Healing and Harbor Racing. Five is headline maker Austin Sorry for Dag Henriksen and Gerald Haggerty. And 4 is Massive Ovation, Paul McKenzie for James McCaig and Jan McCaig. Number 6, Rose Run Why Not, Travis Henry for Brian Lawrence. And number 7 is Archway Lucky, Wayne Henry for George Henry and William Checkley. And number 8, Jackson Storm, Travis Cullen for Alan Fair and Elizabeth Fair. And 9 is Yeti Set Go, Bruce Richardson for Earl McLeod and Clifton Hobbs. Well, let's get a look at this field for race number 1. We'll start with number 5, Headline Maker, 13-1 on the board, and is one that's racing off a 14 days layoff, but at least got a flat line down last time after that break to start before it. Our top pick is offering a bit of value. It should drop though, won't it?
I think it has to. I mean, I thought it was obviously very juicy at 25-1, Gary. It's still juicy at 14-1. Love the way Headline Maker looks on the track right now. Of course, you got to be worried about that miscue 2 back, but that was from the rail spot. And I think maybe it was just that he didn't, like having that many horses to his outside on that occasion. Last time, post 7, got away 8th. Love the way he actually closed willingly. I watched that replay, and while he came home in 30-3, he was, trotting pretty well on the end of that and was chasing rivals right to the wire. So right now Austin Story is going to try to keep him quiet on the infield there, and I think that he's a big overlay at 14-1. I really do. I looked at this race and I said, you know what, he's really the only horse that I thought would be one I'd want to bet to win in here, and maybe even take a stand out on the pick 5. Now I went 3 deep, but if I was taking a stand, it'd be on him, and he's 15-1.
Number 6, Rose Run Why Not, is not offering value, and I'll tell you why I didn't take this one on top. Last race, July the 13th.
Yeah, it's difficult, right? It's difficult to get there on one that hasn't raced in that long. And you look at the last line, obviously it's a good one, came from way out of it to win, had post 7 on that occasion. But again, looks good on the track right now. But like you said, you got a horse that's been off for, over a month, well over a month. And now you're going to, hang your hat on her to start off this pick 5. I couldn't do it. I used her because I think she's certainly good enough to win if she's ready to roll, which she might be. But again, I thought she'd get over bet, and right now, 3-1, she is.
Number 9, Yeti Said Go. I originally took on top, and then I got a little antsy about the trailer post, but I love Yeti Said Go.
I know that you do, and I mean, you've kind of made me a fan of her as well. We kind of always looked at her as one that was a little bit inconsistent, but in saying she's inconsistent, she's hit the board in 15-24 this season. She won 2 in a row and devastated her competition really in both those efforts in July. And then since moving up to this level, no chance 2 back from post 8. We're willing to forgive her for that one. But last time it was a good effort to finish 3rd. She was overland for a lot of the mile and ended up, getting beat by 5 lengths to Horoscope. I think we'd both be willing to take Horoscope against this field. So again, trailing post is a concern, but gets to follow one out that does have early pop off the gate when Trade Barrier, and the one beside her is All Our Wishes, who showed speed last time from post 5 in a lower class. So Yeti Set Goes another one that I think is going off at an overlay right now at 11-1, and anything above double digits, I think she's worth a win bet.
A quick thought on one Trade Barrier, because I want to get to All Our Wishes as well.
Yeah, Trade Barrier is just listen, inside post to work from. 4th last time at this level, was off for almost a month going into that. Now we're back on a regular rotation. We love that angle. And a horse that's useful, right? He's always been the useful type, and I thought he'd be at a good number on the board. 12-1, that's a pretty good price as well.
Number 2, All Our Wishes, is getting heavily bet. 2 wins in the past 3, but tried this class unsuccessfully in between those 2 wins.
Yeah, listen, I think that it's a big overbet right now. I think she's obviously one that's trending in the right direction for trainer Paul Cameron. Should be confident as well, but this is a big step up in class. So I mean, 2-1 to me is an overbet. I don't have her on my pick five ticket. If she goes out and wins, she beats me. But at the end of the day, I recognize, yeah, she could be obviously trending in the right direction, being confident. But 9-5, just too short of a price. The one that got beat by a wide margin here two starts ago.
And of course, based on your pick five ticket, you know who I'm cheering for. Come on, Paul Cameron, with all our wishes. Taking up their positions, trade barrier, all our wishes, Lady Montague on the inside. In the center, massive ovation headline maker. The outside, Rose Run, Why Not, Arch We Lucky, Jackson Storm, second tier, Yeti Set Go. It's a field of 9, race number 1. There at the start of the rough. All our wishes, Lady Montague. On the inside, trade barrier, massive ovation is broken stride. Yeti Set Go gets out well from the trailer post as they work on around the turn, but it is right now trade barrier. All our wishes wants to trade position with trade barrier. Lady Montague is racing third. Then it is headline maker, Yeti Set Go. Arch We Lucky, back to Rose Run, Why Not, and Jackson Storm as they race their way on towards the opening quarter and way back. Massive ovation with that early break in stride. All our wishes, 27-3 the opening quarter, has a lead right now of about 2 1/4. Trade barrier second, Lady Montague is third. Headline maker is racing fourth, and then it is back to Yeti Set Go and Arch We Lucky, Rose Run, Why Not, and Jackson Storm. But it's right now all our wishes, and Brett McDonald with the front has a lead of a length and 3/4 over trade barrier. Headline maker broke stride. Lady Montague is third. Yeti Set Go is racing fourth, and now Rose Run, Why Not is on the outside as they work their way into the backstretch off a half 57-1, 29-3 second panel, and it is all our wishes. Trade barrier. Lady Montague on the outside is getting closer. Lady Montague has moved up and taken over second and is bearing down at all our wishes, and also Rose Run, Why Not is coming. Lady Montague now has got a lead of about half a length on the inside. All our wishes. Rose Run, Why Not is out 3 wide. Then trade barrier, Yeti Set Go. Headline maker trying to make a huge recovery. And then it is back to Arch We Lucky and Jackson Storm. All our wishes is fighting on the inside against Lady Montague. All our wishes, Lady Montague. Trade barriers looking for the passing lane. And to the outside, it is Yeti Set Go on down the stretch drive. All our wishes up the inside. Trade barrier. Trade barrier up the inside is going to win all our wishes. And then it was Yeti Set going close for a fourth. Trade barrier 159-3 takes race number 1.
Yeah, it's 8-1. I mean, this is one that we talked about, and I thought had a chance here, Gary. I'm just obviously kicking myself that I didn't use trade barrier on my pick 5. Just had to go 4 deep, my 4th selection, and it just kind of worked out that way, right? Rail control, leave it enough to get the early lead. Now sit the 2-hole. And Alfie Carroll sends him up the passing lane to get the job done.
And it was certainly a fine job of getting the trip. And I just couldn't get there with trade barrier. But you see this one trending in a better direction the last couple starts.
It was, and like I said, he's a useful horse, right? Because he's got that tactical speed, and he's one that can get himself into a good spot, or get herself into a good spot, I should say. And when the time comes to be opportunistic, she can do it, and she's done it in the past, at similar prices on the board. So, trade barrier, I thought had a chance here. All our wishes, again, I thought raced really well, but this is just a step up that I thought she wasn't ready to make, and ended up still racing well to get a big piece of it. I think that headline maker would have been the winner. I think we were on the right track with that one, Gary, because that break in stride was costly, and he made a huge recovery to actually get back into it. And he was actually trying to get to the pocket spot, get back to the inside there before trade barrier dropped back down. And maybe that would have been the one that came out the passing lane, even though he did kind of tire late in the stretch. But I'm going to put a big circle on headline maker again. I'm going to keep chasing him until he puts me in the poorhouse.
And fans don't seem to regard Yeti Set Go 15-1. Thought Yeti Set Go would get onto the ticket somewhere. Third helps it pay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeti Set Go has proven that she can do at this level. Maybe it was the trailing post that deterred people. I know that kind of concerned you and me for putting her on top, but I think she's one that you've got to really you take a long look at in this class now, especially if she draws inside, gets her nose back on the gate. I mean, she's really sharp right now. Third at 15 to 1 is going to help us pay pretty good.
Well, coming back in front of us is number 1, Trade Barrier. Trade Barrier is a 4-year-old Cadabra Bay mare owned by Angela Carroll and Richard Carroll. Alfie Carroll is the winning driver. Richard Carroll trains, and it's the 4th win this year, 9th lifetime. Trade Barrier, 159-3. The first race payouts: 1, Trade Barrier, 1950, 690, 482. All Our Wishes, 380, 340. 9, Yeti Sit Go, 910, $2 exactor, 50, $10 try, 299.40. $5 super, 998.40. First race order of finish from the top is a 124 967 853. That's 124 967 853. Field 4, race number 2 is on parade, and 1 is scratch, 2 is Keep Watching. Brett McDonald for Joe Pereira. Number 3 is Fly Santana, Colin Kelly for Avery Longstreet. 4 is Chocolate Milk Toast, Garrett Rooney for Michelle Sherman. And 5 Millie's Million, Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen. And number 7 is Premier Bettina, Paul McKenzie for Terry Gillanton. Calvin Kemp for Field 5 for race number 2. Well, Rob, they kicked out our top 2 picks. Both of us had the same top 2 in this second race with scratches. So now we have 2 Keep Watching, one that we both had on top last time out.
Yeah, do I have that one on top and with Keep Watching? Yeah, I guess I did. I was honestly this race confused. No, I've got the 5 on top, Gary.
Oh, pardon me. Why don't I just assumed you were smart enough to go back to Keep Watching, but why don't we go to Millie's Million?
Yeah, so you confused me there, but this race spun me so much that I thought maybe I was wrong, and I picked the 2 Keep Watching again. No, I went with the 5 Millie's Million. Listen, like I said, I was really set on this race being a 2-horse affair, and when those 2 horses get scratched, it certainly throws you for a loop. So I'm on the 5 Millie's Million on top, but I do think that this race is a pretty competitive event. She looks really fired up out there right now for Travis Cullen and trainer Jody Cullen. I think that she certainly figures against this group. It is open claiming handicap. She's been racing in condition claimers for the most part, except for 2 back here in this class. I just think that the level of competition might make her the best. So even money, nothing too appealing about that. But I do think that if I had to pick one on top in here, it's Millie's Million.
Well, it was an accidental chirp, but the fans are in agreement on Millie's Million right now on the board at even money. But number 2, Keep Watching. Look, equipment change, open bridle to blinkers, and last race parked every step. I think Keep Watching bounces back.
Yeah, I think it was a strong possibility of it. That's why I ended up going 3 deep in my pick 5 ticket. Had Keep Watching on there. Parked out a long way last time. Every right to tire. Those fractions were legit too. 27-3, 56-2. You got the equipment change this time around, and I think that this is a field that she should be obviously more than competitive against. It's only a 5-horse field now. She gets the rail. So for me, it came down to those being the 2 standouts, and then I also threw in the 4 Chocolate Milk Toast in my pick 5. But again, this was one where I was kind of left scrambling when I got that curveball.
Yeah, we don't need to hear about your pick 5 because, well, it doesn't exist anymore. Number 4, Chocolate Milk Toast. Remember, I'm going to give you a triple dose of a chirps here tonight because you got none on Monday. We don't get any on Friday. Chocolate Milk Toast is currently 5-1 on the board off of back-to-back 5th place finishes.
Yeah, 5th place finishes, though, against, I mean, you've got to say better company, right? Last time, Layla Blue, State of Mind, Cowgirl Lily, that's a non-winners of 2000 last 3. Before that, over at Clinton, non-winners of 1500 last 3, a solid group there, and was kind of out of it early on before finishing 5th. The lines before that in the claiming handicap races that are, equivalent to this one here, I thought were decent and maybe good enough that she could be an upsetter against this group. And right now, obviously, it wouldn't be a monumental upset at 5-1, but it's hard to really have a horse bigger than that price when you've got 5 horses and the margin between the best horse to the worst horse probably isn't that much. I think this kind of might be a wide open affair, but somehow I still landed on the 4-5 shot on top.
And I've never dipped toast into chocolate milk. Not that I wouldn't like it, I just never thought of it. I'm such a loser. 3 Fly Santana was racing really well back in July at Georgian Downs, but since then things just not so good.
Is that a thing though? Like, do people dunk their toast in chocolate milk?
I thought, well, some people must.
I mean, that's new to me, and I mean, to each their own, I guess. I've never done it either, Gary, so I'll join the Never Done It Club on dipping my my toast in my chocolate milk. But yeah, Fly Santana, a horse that, again, I think might be able to perk up against this group. You got a 5-horse field. Really all you got to do is try to get, forwardly placed. Maybe the fractions won't be too difficult in the early going, and Fly Santana is one that does have speed off the gate. So I looked at the lines she's been racing in for the most part, open claiming handicaps. I like to stick with those type of horses in there. Granted, she's my fourth selection in a field of five now, but again, I do think that, does she have a chance? Of course, and she's 7-1 on the board, so I wouldn't begrudge anyone for taking her.
Number 7, Premier Bettina, is my second one. It's the one that you left out. Why am I wrong?
I don't think that you're wrong. I mean, this is a race where I'm not going to say anyone's wrong. She comes down to post five now. Is still the outermost post in the contest. Like you said, trending in the right direction. Obviously, when I kind of took a stand against her before, I thought she was going to have post 7. Now it's post 5. I think Premier Bettina obviously is among the chances now. And like I said, I would probably stray away from 6-5 in here.
Well, right now that 6-5 is on Millie's Million. I went with 2 Keep Watching, who has dropped down to 9-5. We'll see how it goes. Keep Watching. Fly Santan on the inside. Chocolate Milk Toast. Maybe I'll try that tonight. On the outside, Millie's Million and Premier Bettina. Field of 5. Race number 2. Here they come. Giddy up. And Keep Watching went rough, as able to stay on stride, but now gets away last. And Millie's Million motors out and gets the lead. Fly Santana is racing position second. Then Chocolate Milk Toast and Keep Watching, a little rough on the turn on the inside, and then it is back to Premier Bettina, and they race their way on towards the opening quarter, and Millie's Million has the lead as they race their way onto the opening quarter. Fly Santana second. To Keep Watching on the outside is racing third, and then Chocolate Milk Toast and Premier Bettina is back trailing the field, and they work their way on around the turn off a 28-3 opening quarter, and Millie's Million with the front. Keep Watching to the outside. Fly Santana is racing third. Chocolate Milk Toast fourth, and Premier Bettina is racing fifth. They race off the turn. And it is Millie's Million who's got the lead as they come up to the half. Keep Watching grinding first over. Fly Santana to the inside third. Then Chocolate Milk Toast and Premier Bettina. 57-3 is the halftime as they work their way into the backstretch. Millie's Million leads at a length and a half over Fly Santana in the pocket. Then to the outside, Keep Watching, about 2 off the lead of Millie's Million, Chocolate Milk Toast and Premier Bettina, and they race their way on towards the 3/4 mile marker, and it is Millie's Million who's got a lead of about 2.5 lengths. And then it is Fly Santana. Premier Bettina now out 3 wide, backing away. Keep Watching, Chocolate Milk Toast, but it is Millie's Million who's motored out to a lead of about 2.25. Then Fly Santana, Premier Bettina, and Chocolate Milk Toast, they turn for home. Millie's Million as they come on down the stretch drive. Millie's Million and Travis Cullen leads as they come on to the finish. Millie's Million is going to win. Then finishing second, it'll be Fly Santana. Then on the inside, Chocolate Milk Toast. To the outside, Premier Bettina. 155-3. Millie's Million was able to make the lead and then put up a nice mile of 55-3 to win pretty comfortably, Rob.
Yeah, she did, and 3-5 on the board. Favorite converts, and listen, she when she was scoring down, I mean, she looked like she was possessed out there, and then she raced like it. She went right to the front from post 4, had an easy lead in the early going, and then Keep Watching obviously went rough behind the gate, and something was amiss, I think, with her tonight. I don't know if it's the equipment change or what it was, but she then tried a first over move and never really found her best stride. So it actually kind of worked to even Millie's Million advantage of having that one challenging first over, I think. Fly Santana ends up sitting the 2-hole and finishes a decent second at 8-1. And really, if you were watching that race off the gate and betting it that way, that was really the only exact you could play because they were both getting out of there better than anyone else.
Yeah, and also the thing with Keep Watching, it looked kind of rough in the early going. It kind of smoothened out after she got a little tired, but she didn't look smooth at all.
No, she didn't. She was rough. I mean, for majority of the mile, like you said, when she started to tire, she looked a little smoother, but she was also backpedaling at that point and ended up finishing last in a field of 5. But other than that, I mean, the race was kind of uneventful. It was a Cullen crush job, right? I mean, Millie's Million comes in here and benefits obviously from 2 very key scratches, and then goes out and wins with ease.
What got me off of her for the start was that last race at Georgian Downs, but as you mentioned, that was in against tougher, but she didn't look good in that spot, but certainly looked good here in with this group.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where I think that the level of competition certainly helps tonight. This class can come up pretty difficult at times, and then other times it comes up a little softer. And I mean, I thought it was actually on the other side of that before the two scratches, and then again, Millie's Million, gets to go out there, and that should be a big confidence boost for her. She's one that gets hot and can win piles of races together, so she'll be one to watch next time.
Back in front of us, 5 Million, a 4-year-old Arbro Baylor Bay mare, owned by Travis Cullen, trained by Jody Cullen. Travis Cullen's the winning driver. 5th win for Millie's Million this year, 15th lifetime, 155-3. The second race payouts 5 Millie's Million, 320 to 32.10. 3 Fly Santana, 360, 320. 4 Chocolate Milk Toast, 290. $2 exactor, $12.70. Drive, $14.80. Super, $25.85. And the double of 1 and 5, $37.30. The second race order of finish from the top. Scratch 523, 1 scratch 4. That's scratch 523, 1 scratch 4.
The night started with Trade Barrier at 8-1. Nice price in that one. And then, of course, now we get the odds-on favorite in race 2. So that may have helped keep some people alive in that pick 5 wager. Gary and I are both dead in that one. But, hey, it's time to look at the early pick 4 guaranteed pool. $2,500 to get started right here in race number 3. And I'm going to play this one skinny. We're going to go with a couple of singles. Look at that. Right to the sequence, the rail horse would be a good result for us. We're going to play a lot of ones in races 3 through 6 here. And in the opening leg, it's a trotting event. Non-winners is 62,500 life. I'm going to go 3 deep here. I thought that Run Like Hill's finally going to get that respect. Hasn't got any respect on the tote board in recent efforts. Has been, coming very close, but has not got to the winner's circle recently. Last win back in May. I think, he is the one to beat in here. He's 2-1 right now. Also using the 1 Hot Fudge Sunday. 5-2 on that one. Thought that horse would be a bigger price from the rail. And the 3 Fortune Tellers K, another one I like in here, 9-2. I think there'll be better value in the multi-leg wagers for sure. Race number 4, we're going to single Diamond Rock. Stay true to our pick 5 ticket. That's the one that we're going to hang our hat on. Rail Control raced really well last time. No adrenaline rushes to chase this time. I think he gets the job done in race number 4. In race number 5, the 1 and 2. The 1 and 2, sorry, my dog's decided to bark right now. In race number 5, the 1 and 2, Charmbo Brie, and the 2, Layla Blue. Layla Blue is my top selection. Think she is the one to beat off her effort last time, 55 flat. I think she certainly is the one you've got to beat in there. We're going to use the 1, Charmbo Brie. In race number 6, going to single the 1, Sharia Moore. I think she crushes again tonight. She was amazing last time. Love her chances to come right back and double up for Jared Mann in race number 6. Just $1.20 for that pick 4 wager. Make sure you get your wagers in. Map out your winning tickets. You got 3 minutes away. We'll come back, take a closer look at this race after the post parade.
Field for the 3rd on parade. 1 is Hot Fudge Sunday, Alfie Carroll for Richard Carroll and Angela Carroll. Number 2 is Chilean Toast, out of both for Bud Sinclair and Lindsay Sinclair and Tom Strawn. And number 4 is Run Like Hill, Samuel Filia for Francis Guillemette. And number 5, Emotions Durables, Tyler Jones for Cassandra LaCourte. And number 6, Draven Hanover, Jay Harris for Caitlin Graham and Steve Mihalik. Number 7, Patrick Hanover, Paul McKenzie for Tim Cherwago and Gary Green. And there is number 3, Fortune Tellers K, Tyler Moore for Terry Gillette and Triple S Equine. Let's get a look at this field for race number 3. Starts the pick 4, and Rob, during the pick 4, your dog was making a lot of noise. Hopefully you can cash a ticket here in the 3rd and run out and buy some dog food. He sounds like he's starving.
Yeah, no, it was a big mistake letting him come in my office with me. He was sleeping at my feet, and then all hell broke loose. So, anyways, yeah, I'll get him some dog food and some treats, Gary. Hopefully, we cash a ticket here. Run Like Hill, 3-2 on the board right now. We've commented week after week after week that this is a horse that does not get any respect. But I knew when I saw the entries come out that this is going to be the week that Run Like Hill gets bet down to favoritism. And right now, sitting at 8-5, I think that probably goes off at around that price, if not a shade lower. Has been racing really well in defeat. No Clockwork Orange this time around, and might even be able to work out a better trip or just go straight to the front. So I think clearly the one to beat. But I also looked at it and said, everyone's going to go in that direction now. So maybe we don't necessarily want to be tied to him in the pick 5 and the pick 4.
Well, Run Like Hill is both of us, the one that we have on top. But when you run out and get that dog food, maybe you can get yourself a hot fudge sundae inside post position. This is one that shouldn't desert your attention.
Yeah, we'll have to enjoy a hot fudge sundae when we do make a big score in one of these multi-leg wagers, right, Gary? And everyone likes those. And hot fudge sundae, you've got to like his chances in here because he's won 2 out of his last 3. Now you can look back and say, well, but the defeat was in here and it was by a wide margin, but that was post 7, and he got away dead last off the gate. No real chance to ever get into the race. But his last one at Hiawatha Horse Park in Sarnia was a good one. Ended up, beating a pretty good group in there, Neon Lights and Mr. Arch, and did so with ease. And kind of gassed them early with a 27-3 opening panel. I think he's going to try to blast off the wings of the gate tonight from the pole position, and he should be sharp and he should be confident. So I think Hot Fudge Sunday's got a chance in here, and I guess the public agrees to 2-1, but I don't think he's that priced in the multi-leg wagers.
Number 3, Fortune Tellers K. I toyed with the idea of taking this mare on top. Last 3 post positions, not great, but this is one that can fire off the gate and was really good just before that.
Yeah, I don't hate putting her on top. And right now, if someone said to me, who's the value on the board, I'd say it's her. At 10-1 now. She had post 9 last time, trailing post. That's not her bag at all. Because like you said, she's a speed type horse. Before that, post 6 and 7. And then you just see those other lines there where she goes to the top and she beats her competition with ease. So I think she's firing off the gates tonight. When I handicapped this race, I thought that the speed horses were the 1, 3, and 4. And I'm hoping that's the way it kind of lines up and shakes out off the gate. Again, if you were looking for one that's value in here, no doubt about it, it's the 3 Fortune Tellers K at 12-1.
Number 7, Patrick Hanover, 8-1 on the board. Dropped in here August the 10th and got rolling again, but then stepped up to this level. Didn't fare well last time out from off the pace.
Yeah, it didn't, but I mean, kind of didn't have much of a chance the way it panned out. Made up ground, after sitting, an inside trip and getting kind of shuffled before advancing again. Clockwork Orange, obviously one that has been, super sharp here. One from the 8-hole, and Run Like Hill was second in that contest. Before that was a winner in non-winners of 40,000 life. I got off his bandwagon last time in this class. It's a big jump up the class ladder. Post 7 makes it even more difficult for him tonight. That's why I strayed away from him, but I do think he can pick up a piece of it.
And one I want to comment on is 5 Emotions Durables, because this is one that makes a first start in quite a while. But you've seen this horse be competitive against tougher.
Yeah, I have, and if she can find her best, then I mean she can beat this group. I toyed with her on top in the mix, and I said, you know what, she's been off so long. I think we have to just watch it one time. Qualifiers were okay, but still returning after that long off. I think you've got to watch one or two times and let her get acclimated again. So 7-1, I mean, not a bad place to go shopping if you're looking for a price, but I'd watch this time out.
Certainly that 27-2 final quarter in the qualifier, the last qualifier, kind of catches your attention. Hot Fudge Sundae, chili and toast on the inside. In the center, Fortune Teller's Cave, Run Like Hill, and Emotions Durables to the outside, Draven Hanover and Patrick Hanover. Field of 7, race number 3. They're approaching the top of the stretch. Here they come. And the field for the third is at the start of the Fortune Teller's Cave. Hot Fudge Sundae, Run Like Hill, and then Chili and Toast, Emotions Durables, and Draven Hanover and Patrick Hanover's back trailing the field. Hot Fudge Sundae on the inside, driving, and has got the lead. Fortune Teller's Cave fills the pocket. Draven Hanover is looking to squeeze over to the pylons and is able to do so. Run Like Hill is racing in mid-pack fourth. Then Chili and Toast, Emotions Durables, Patrick Hanover trails the field. Hot Fudge Sundae racing on past that opening quarter in 28 seconds. And then Fortune Teller's Cave is second. Draven Hanover third. Run Like Hill. Now Patrick Hanover from the backfield has passed a couple. Back to Chili and Toast and Emotions Durables. Hot Fudge Sundae leads as they race off the turn. Fortune Teller's Cave is getting a trip in the pocket. Run Like Hill is going to brave it first over and giving cover to Patrick Hanover, who's moving up. Now is taking over fourth. Then Draven Hanover, Emotions Durables, and back to Chili and Toast. 58-3 is the halftime. Hot Fudge Sundae now on the outside. Run Like Hill is challenging Hot Fudge Sundae. Fortune Teller's Cave inside third. Patrick Hanover fourth on. Down the backstretch they go. Run Like Hill now has moved up and taken a lead of about 3/4 of a length off that half of 58-3. It is Run Like Hill. Patrick Hanover on the outside is taking second. Hot Fudge Sundae now has deserted contention and is dropped back. And then it is Fortune Teller's Cave. Draven Hanover, Emotions Durables, and Chili and Toast. 3/4, 1:27-2. Run Like Hill continues gamely. Leads at a couple over Patrick Hanover. Hot Fudge Sundae and Fortune Teller's Cave on down the stretch drive they come. Run Like Hill. Run Like Hill is cruising in the lane now. Patrick Hanover trying to hold for second and is going to. Then finishing third. That was Hot Fudge Sundae and close for fourth. Might have been Draven Hanover on the inside. Mile of 1:58. Run Like Hill came first up, and it didn't matter, Rob, because it had lots in the tank.
Yeah, he did have lots in the tank. And, it was one of those ones where he's been right there, racing really well at this level. And now, horses have won their way out of the class. Clockwork Orange, second to that one in each of his last two. Before that, it was top of the bar and Field Gunner. This time around, he proves that he's the best. And really, he's been knocking at the door at big prices. And I knew when the entries came out, I said, oh, man, he's going to get hammered now. And of course, he gets bet down to almost odds on at 6-5. So he's, I thought that he was certainly the one to beat, and he went out there and raced as good as he's been racing, and turned in a nice effort to get the job done.
I think the one to watch out of that race is Patrick Hanover, because he came back from a race, last race, that wasn't quite as good and really looked sharp in there.
Yeah, I think you got to take a look at him going forward. And I always say when a horse moves up in class, it sometimes takes a few starts to get acclimated to that new level, right? I mean, it doesn't sometimes happen overnight. Some horses obviously can just, withstand a class hike. I thought that Patrick Hanover might need a couple of starts, and really he's improved nicely because that was a good effort. First over much of the way there against Run Like Hill, and managed to hang on to the place spot in the stretch. So 16-1 this time around. I doubt that we'll get that next time, especially if he draws inside, but one you should put a circle around for next time.
Well, it does come of 4-7-1-6. Unofficial top four. Coming back in front of us is number 4, Run Like Hill, a 5-year-old Muscle Hill Bay gelding, owned and trained by Francis Guillemette. It's the 7th win this year, 9th win lifetime. Run Like Hill, and the winning drive to Samuel Fillion. The third race payouts for Run Like Hill, 463.10 and 237. Patrick Henry 24.20. One Hot Fudge Sunday 260. $2 exactor $27.90. Dollar try 50.80. Dollar super $262. The third race order finished from the tops at 3,751,642. That's 3,751,642. Field 4, race number 4 is on parade. 1 Diamond Rock caliber for Pam Forkey and Don Schuldeis. Number 2 is Primetime Sister Cullen Keller for Kyle Boston's. And for Dance Machine, Paul McKenzie for Courtney Robson and Julie Sagan. 5 is Rising Dragon, Scott Calder for Sheldon Rose. Number 6, Nelson Eddie Hanover Nick Boyd for Craig Bars and Norko Sokolovic. And number 3, Galterio Hanover Travis Cullen for Jake Conklin and Percy Jones. A field of 6, and well, right now Diamond Rock is 1-2 on the board. We're both rocking the Diamond from the inside. That was a pretty good adrenaline rush that beat him last time out. I think Diamond Rock could get things his own way here.
Yeah, I think so too. You got to respect Diamond Rock off that effort because almost got the better of Adrenaline Rush and sat the 2 hole to that rival from the same starting spot he's got tonight, and really I thought closed willingly at that winner. And before that, was kind of improving with each start, a couple of third place finishes when getting into this condition claiming class. 9-hole 2-back certainly hindered his chances, and then it was kind of a tough trip from there, and before that Overland as well. So this looks like his opportunity now to break through with a victory, his first one since June, and I think he's going to be rocking off the gate.
And you mentioned that June win. That was a front-end effort from post 3, and that was against tougher than here. So Diamond Rock getting a lot of love at 3-5. Number 6, Nelson Eddie Hanover is 7-1 on the board, and the one that we both think is the main threat, despite the outside post.
Yeah, outside post. I mean, it's only, post 6 and not really taking a lot of support on the board. I thought he would take more money because he's been racing pretty well. I mean, it was his 2 starts back. He was first over a long way, before settling for 4th in a race where Twain Sealster won by a huge margin. And last time, similar kind of journey, and, kept advancing this time, and then just faded back 1 position to 3rd when Diamond Rock came on and got into the place spot and almost got the better of Adrenaline Rush. So Nelson Eddie Hanover is one I think you've got to respect in here. I certainly like him underneath. I mean, he's the one I would look to if I was going to try to get an upsetter down. Nick Boyd knows this horse very well, and I think he gets a big piece of it.
Galterio Hanover, number 3, 9-2 on the board. Right now is the second choice, and well, this is one that's kind of fallen a little bit off form in the last 3, but was certainly good just before that.
Yeah, I think you can also forgive him, right? I think we can look at it and say, okay, well, the win came from post 2, at around this level of competition. He got the better of Adrenaline Rush on that occasion. Then he had post 8, got away 8th off the gate. It was one that you say, okay, we'll certainly forgive him for that one. Then a 2-hole trip faded back, but Twain Steelster, kind of blew his competition away that night. And then after that, went over to Mohawk Park and competed against, some pretty good horses before finishing 8th. So I think when you look at it overall, the recent form may look like it's darkened, but it's not really as bad as it looks. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him come back to that effort when he won win tag for $15,000 here on July the 20th. So I think Galterio Hanover is one you've got to be concerned about, and I think he's going to be forward off the gate for Travis Cullen.
And then Dance Machine is one that, well, if you're talking about a win ticket, you're probably saying, no, I can't get there. 0 for 42. But you can definitely use this one somewhere on the ticket. Look at this run going back to June the 18th. Whole pile of starts with only 1 non-top 3 finish.
Yeah, that was my thoughts exactly on Dance Machine. It's pretty hard to get there on a win ticket. Like you mentioned, 0 for the last 2 seasons, just 5 for 66 in his career, but hits the board with frequency, right? 11 for 26 this season, and he's got 27 on the board finishes from 66 lifetime tries. So Dance Machine's the kind of horse that, usually kind of looks for that favorable journey and then tries to come at them late. I think he can do it in here and probably get a piece of that trifecta or super.
Well, Rob, I don't think we anticipated getting any kind of price for Diamond Rock. I'm not surprised at 3 to 5 on the board. It's a little bit low, but Diamond Rock, the one to beat. Primetime Sealster with position with Diamond Rock on the inside. In the center, Galterio Hanover, Dance Machine to the outside. Rising Dragon, Nelson Eddie Hanover. It's a field of 6. It's race number 4 on a Wednesday night at the river. Here they come. It's a field of 6 for the 4th race. There at the start of the rough. Galterio Hanover, Diamond Ron, Primetime Sealster, Dance Machine, then Rising Dragon and Nelson Eddie Hanover, and Diamond Rock is rocking the early lead. Advantage is a length and 3/4. Galterio Hanover, Primetime Sealster, Dance Machine, then Rising Dragon, and Nelson Eddie Hanover has to pass 5 to win on the race to the opening quarter. Diamond Rock 1 to 2 on the board, and Tyler has the lead, but Galterio Hanover is there in the pocket, length and 3/4 back. Primetime Sealster third, 28-1 is the opening quarter. Dance Machine is racing fourth in front of Rising Dragon, and then it is Nelson Eddie Hanover. Diamond Rock 6 in a line as they rock their way off the turn, heading towards the half off a 28-1 opening quarter. Diamond Rock and Tyler Moore looking for a second panel breather. No challengers coming after Diamond Rock. Diamond Rock on past the half with Galterio Hanover in tow on the pocket, and Primetime Sealster still to the inside. 57-4 is the halftime. 29-3 second panel. Diamond Rock leads it. Galterio Hanover is racing second. Then racing on the inside, Primetime Sealster. Rising Dragon is rising up now and is moved up to take over third and is bearing down rapidly. And then fourth, Primetime Sealster. Nelson Eddie Hanover is past one and trailing his Dance Machine. Diamond Rock and Tullamore on the race by 3/4, 127-2. Diamond Rock, Rising Dragon rose up to take second, but Diamond Rock drives on. It is Diamond Rock, Rising Dragon. Galterio Hanover on the inside is racing two back. From the backfield, Dance Machine is dancing now. Nelson Eddie Hanover and Primetime Sealster, 3/4, 127-2. Diamond Rock, sharp all the way to the finish. Diamond Rock with a gem of an effort. Galterio Hanover was second, 3 across the track for third. Diamond Rock 1 to 2 on the board. The tote board told the story, and then he manages to get the lead, and it's sort of over from there, Rob.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think the story was kind of told too leading up to this effort, right? I mean, he's been racing really well in defeat. He's hit the board in his last 4 going into this. And this time around, he said, you know what? I'm going to control things. I've got rail control. I'm going to go to the front. No adrenaline rush to worry about this time. So I'm going to chop it out. And it was a nice effort from Diamond Rock. He's really progressed nicely, since coming into this level. Tyler Moore wanted to be on top tonight. And just proved to be much the best at a short price.
Yeah, with a short field of 6, nobody really wants to be the one to come after him, so he gets to pick up a second panel breather, and it's pretty much over. Galterio Hanover, left well enough to get that pocket trip and then be the second one. We thought Nelson Eddie Hanover made more sense, but actually Galterio Hanover was able to use the trip to get on the ticket to second.
Yeah, I love what Travis Cullen did there, right? He's got post 3. He knows the horse on the inside's got a lot of gate speed as well. He left out really hard to make sure that Tyler Moore was going to open up a big enough lead that he can just drop into the 2-hole, and that's what he did. I don't think he had ever had any intention on getting to the front. He just wanted to secure that pocket trip. That's what he did, and the horse went out there and raced, respectable. Ends up finishing second and kind of came back to the effort that I kind of expected from him. So, second best tonight, but certainly, could fare well in here without Diamond Rock.
Well, coming back in front of us will be number 1, Diamond Rock, a 4-year-old better than Cheddar Bay gelding, owned by Pam Forkey and Don Schuldice. Pam Forkey is the trainer. It's the 4th win this year, the 8th win lifetime. Diamond Rock and the winning drive to Tyler Moore. fourth race payouts: 1 Diamond Rock, 310, 250, and 210. 3 Galterio Hanover, 420 and 290. And 5 Rising Dragon, $3, $2 exactor, $12.30. $1 try, $17.05. $1 super, $34.05. Fourth race. Order finished from the top: 152, 436. That's 152, 436. Field 4, race number 5 is on parade. 1, Charbro Brie, Paul McKenzie for John Ryer. Number 2, Layla Blue, down the fourth for Doug Good. And number 3, Sea of Hope, represented for Rod Boyd. For Steely Dawn, Travis Cullen for Bud Sinclair and Lindsay Sinclair. 5 is Clover, Jason Ryan for Ken Hofacker and Larry Kelson and Robert Walton. Number 7 is Century Harlot, Colin Keller for Peter Brickman and Aaron Swainson Brickman. Number 6, Happy Looker, Ryan DeRoche for Mark Winnicott and Donald Smith and Donna Parker. And number 8 is Beauty is Blind, Tyler Moore for Pam Forgy and Triple SXY. It's a field of 8. It's race number 5. And, well, let's get a look at this field. And by the way, note in race number 6, number 1, Sharia Moore has 6 claims entered. But in the 5th race, we're going to start with number 2, Layla Blue. 4-1 on the board. I don't see how Layla Blue doesn't wind up being the favorite before the start, but that wouldn't bother me if she's not, Rob.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me either, Gary, because I'm all in on her again. You know how much I liked her last time, and she went out there and raced very well. She sat the 2-hole and went by a good one in state of mind, and did so with relative ease. You know, she was 28 seconds in her opening quarter, 29 seconds in each of the ones after that. And before that, you know, she lacked room on August the 10th and finished with all kinds of pace. So she gets reunited with her usual driver in Tyler Borth, and I love her tonight. I really do. I think she's the one you want to land on. 7-2 on the board. Now, Charmbo Brie is a slight favorite in the pick 5, so we should see the odds tighten up come post time, but I'm still hoping she goes off with the better price of the 2.
And also, Layla Blue has 4 wins in the year. Charmbo Brie is winless in 12 starts, and well, that last race at Mohawk, that might discourage you a bit, but that's a mile of 53. Certainly also shows some good speed and some good efforts at Woodbine just before that.
Yeah, and that was a non-winners of 7,700 the last 5, and the winner of that race was Parisian Blue Chip, and Parisian Blue Chip would obviously be a heavy favorite against this group. It was okay too, back finishing second to Goodnight Irene. I guess the one thing too that's concerning for me is that this horse is not racing on a regular rotation, right? Off for more than 2 weeks between starts. Does, you know, have rail control, but hasn't really been known to one that's going to like blast out of there. Usually makes her moves in the middle part of the race. Not sure that's going to work out against the likes of Layla Blue if Tyler Borth does send that one to the front. So I think that Charmbo Brie is one you have to consider in here, but for me, an underneath play, and I'm all in on the 2, Layla Blue.
I toyed with taking 3, Sea of Hope on top, and then thought better of it, but I did use this mare for second. But look at those last 2 races, post 7 and 8. That could scare you away. But just before that, had a better post position in this class. Winner.
Yeah, I thought the win was a real good one. And, you know, you look at it and say, okay, preferred ranks, 2 back, 7-hole. We're going to forgive her for that. And then last time, this class 8-hole, we just strike our pen right through it, as you say, Gary. And I think it's a big overlay right now. 10-1's a monstrous price on Sea of Hope because she gets back to a palatable starting spot, and I think she's got a chance in here. I prefer her on the ticket underneath Layla Blue, but I wouldn't be surprised if she goes out and finds a way to win, especially if she gets a real nice trip along the pylons or maybe a helmet second over.
And number 5, Clover, is one that Ken Hofacker has been good with the last couple starts since getting away from Richard Moreau and changed venues from Georgian Downs. Certainly Clover has looked decent and can work from off the pace if need be. But mile of 54 last time out, that was a good effort.
And she moves in one spot on the gate this time, and I've liked what I've seen from her since moving to this barn. She's been a horse that's kind of a high percentage winner. 6 for 17 this season, hit the board in 10 of those efforts, and I think it's just a matter of time before we see her get to the winner's circle for her new connections. I don't know if it's tonight though. It's still post 5. There's speed to the inside of her, and I think that it'll be tough to catch the legs of Layla Blue, and I think for me I'd rather her somewhere in the try or super. She is getting bet right now, so support might be a good thing, but to me 3-1 is probably a couple of points too short for my liking.
And we just saw number 7, Century Harlot, on the screen, one that's been racing really well. Second to Carson's Gouda, who's really good, but Just the post position, right?
Yeah, the post obviously it changes everything, right? It's a horse that was second to Carson's Gouda in each of her last two. That was from the rail and from post two. Now it's the 7 hole, and it's a totally different kettle of fish here at the river. So I think a small share is probably her ceiling tonight.
And you know who's offering a bit of value is for Steely Dawn, and this is one that we loved a lot for a number of starts, and then it's kind of just been underwhelming the last couple. But now sitting at 16-1, might be one worth a little bit of a flyer. It's a field of 8 for race number 5. Shaking up their positions, Chambro Brie, Layla Blue, Sea of Hope on the inside. In the center, Steely Dawn and Clover. And to the outside, Happy Looker, Century Harlot, and Beauty is Blind. It's a field of 8, race number 5, top of the stretch. Here they come. It's a field of 8 for the 5th race, Gathering Speed. There at the start of the rough, Layla Blue, Clover, Chambro Brie, and then Sea of Hope and Beauty is Blind fires from the outside. But as they charge on around that first turn, Chambro Brie using the post one advantage to take the lead. Layla Blue is going to find the pocket. Clover is going to get over to the pylons, racing third. Beauty is Blind, though, can't see a spot on the inside, so is going to drive on. And it is Chambro Brie. Beauty is Blind is racing second. Layla Blue third. Then Clover and Sea of Hope, and back to Century Harlot. Then Steely Dawn, and trailing the field is Happy Looker. Chambro Brie is not getting left alone on the lead. Beauty is Blind on the outside, and now Layla Blue moves up and wants to fill the pocket, keeping Beauty is Blind from dropping down to the inside. It is Chambro Brie. Beauty is Blind. Layla Blue on the inside is racing third. 28-1's the opening quarter. And then Clover is positioned fourth, and it's a gap of 3. And it is Sea of Hope and Century Harlot. Back to Steely Dawn and Happy Looker. It is Chambro Brie. 56-2 halftime equal 28-1 splits. And Chambro Brie not getting left alone on the lead as Beauty is Blind is parked every step and is still there grinding. Layla Blue is right there in the pocket. And then Clover is racing on the outside fourth. Sea of Hope now is on the inside racing fifth, and then Century Harlot and Steely Dawn and Happy Looker. Now rolling off cover. Clover is going to get off the back of Beauty is Blind and is coming on. Chambro Brie on the inside. To the outside, Clover. Layla Blue now drive through on the inside. Third is Beauty is Blind, backs away. And that is Clover and Chambro Brie. And then Layla Blue is racing third as they turn for home. It is Clover and Chambro Brie. Layla Blue now as they come on down the stretch drive third with work to do. On down the stretch drive they come. And Clover and Chambro Brie. Clover is going to win it. And then second is between Layla Blue and Chambro Brie. And Sea of Hope is third. 155-2. Clover, Rob, we mentioned we'd liked this one the last couple races, and then kind of got a bit of a beneficial ride there, and being able to get the better of Layla Blue and also Chambro Brie.
Yeah, that was, you couldn't have really scripted a better trip for Clover, and really has kind of been racing with these kind of journeys, but this time around, she gets to attack a horse that got used really hard on the front end, and Layla Blue kind of got caught in the pocket there, and still edged off the cones with pace in the stretch, but it was just too much work for her to do in too short of a period of time. But Clover has kind of been warming up to this effort, and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see her get to the winner's circle. Just a little bit surprised that it was tonight against this group.
Yeah, Chambro Brie and Paul McKenzie. Well, Beauty is Blind certainly didn't do that duo any a favor, but Beauty is Blind carried Clover far enough, and that just worked out beautifully. And as you mentioned, Layla Blue, who might have been the best one in there, just couldn't shake loose until late, and then that ended up Layla Blue just finishing third.
Yeah, that ended up kind of sealing her fate, right? And that was kind of the problem for the front runners, right? Beauty is Blind and kind of battling Chambro Brie a long way. It also puts Layla Blue in a tough spot because she's locked in the box when a horse like Clover now makes that move around that tired rival and has all the momentum going for her, right? You could kind of see that it was going to be Clover's race because Chambro Brie was spent on the engine. Layla Blue was in a bad spot. And really, this was a night that everything aligned for her. But they'll take anything away from her, right? We said she's a nice horse. She's a high percentage winner. and she's been turning in decent efforts for these connections. So good for them that she gets to the winner's circle.
Well, it is a 5-1-2-3, and rolling back in front of us is number 5, Clover, a 4-year-old sports rider bay mare owned by Larry Kelson and Robert Walton. Ken Hofacker is the trainer. It's the 7th win this year, 9th lifetime Clover, and Jason Ryan is the winning driver. The 5th race payouts. 5 Clover 840 for 3240. 1 Charm Brie 320 and 220. And 2 Layla Blue 220. $2 exact 1840. $1 try 1490. $1 super 51.55. And the dollar pick 555 524.80. the fifth race, or we finish from the top, 234-61785. That's 234-61785. Field 4, race Number 6 on parade 1 is Sharia Moore. Travis calling for Jared Mann. 6 claims entered. And number 2 is Katie Rose. Tyler for Cameron McQueen. Number 3 is Brianne the Beauty. Jay Harris for Dolores Barcelona and Eric Wilson. Number 4 is Runaway Heiress. Scott Calder for Courtney Bishop. And 5 is 7A, Ryan DeRoche for Kim Smith and Seymour Hill. And number 6, Ezra Express, Sylvan Lakai for Jeremy Brewer and Jack Racing. And number 7, JMR Mockmel, Teleport for Harold Wilson and JMR Racing. Field of 7, race number 6. Well, Rob, the 6 claims in on 1 Sharia Moore and 1 to 2 on the tote board kind of tells the story.
It sure does. I mean, she was really good last time, Gary. There's no question about it. She obviously beat the heavy favorite Cranberry Brie and did so in fine fashion. Was first over a long way before forging past that one, and had been racing good. I mean, prior to that as well. I mean, it's not like that came out of nowhere. She was second, 2 back to that rival, and had been racing good for her previous connections. So you're going to go to a new barn tonight, and no surprise of how well she raced last time. 1 to 2 on the board. Not surprised by that either. I think she deserves that respect tonight.
Well, we both went with the same one for second, K.D. Roses. Well, this one's also a strong barn, just like a Jared Mann with Sharia Moore. And K.D. Roses, it's got 11 wins on the year.
Yeah, 11 wins, and doesn't just go out and win, also gets a piece of it with frequency as well. She's hit the board in 24 of those efforts. And in her latest here, I thought it was a pretty decent effort. Got away in the 2 holes, sat in that spot, ended up getting beat half a length at 3 to 1. That was in a condition claimer. This is now the open claiming ranks, but she's no stranger to this level. She's competed well, against these types in the past. So I think she certainly figures to get a big piece of it here. I was trying to envision the way the race kind of pans out. I think that obviously we're going to see some speed from the favorite on the rail, and I'm hoping Katie Roses can get into the pocket behind her.
Number 4, Runaway Heiress is your third one. I kind of went away from this mare, although certainly overall her season is good, and she was really good, but the last few not as good. But look at Runaway Heiress has done a lot of nice things and certainly can be a top 3 player.
Yeah, I think so. I think Runaway Harris can kind of turn it around in this spot, because the effort last time was decent enough, I think, right? Post 7, get away 6, improve a position, but like the way that she finished her mile, and now it's the second start for trainer Courtney Bishop off the claim, and I just think that, moving in those 3 spots in the gate might be what she needs to get her way onto the ticket. 9 to 1 on the board right now, so she's the 4th choice in the betting, and might be able to put some value on underneath if she can get to the second spot or complete that trifecta.
And then also number 5, 7A. I used this one for third, and look, we both liked the way 7A raced here last time out, and 7A just might be lying in wait again, 12 to 1.
Yeah, and she races really well, or she has raced really well for trainer Kim Smith. I mean, that victory 3 back at Clinton was breathtaking. It really was. I mean, she flipped off her cover on the backside and then blew the field away by more than 7 lengths, and then left that barn for a start via the claim, finished second in Leamington, then went back to the care of Kim Smith after that one, and turned in a good effort to be 3rd last time. So I think that she's a horse that is capable of being very competitive against this group and getting overlooked on the board right now at 10 to 1. I wouldn't be surprised to see her land in the exotics, and I'll be using her as high as the bottom end of the try, maybe even the bottom end of the exacta if it's paying well enough.
And then the one that you round out the high 5 is 3, Brianne the Beauty. Only 3 wins in the past 2 seasons, but the most recent was a dominant win at Georgian.
It was, and the thing about her is that she hits the board with frequency, right? I mean, she's just got those 3 victories over the last 2 seasons, but she's hit the board in 10 of 24 so far this year. And from post 3, she might be able to get a favorable spot off the gate, and with the right kind of trip, I see her, landing somewhere on the high 5 anyways.
Well, I don't think either one of us is surprised that Sharia Moore is 4 to 5 on the board. The one to beat taking up positions with Katie Roses. In the center, Brianne the Beauty of Runaway Heiress and 7A. To the outside, Ezra Express and JMR Mockmel. It's a field of 7, race number 6. Here they come. Field of 7 for the 6th race. Approaching the top of the stretch. And the field of the 6th race is nearing the start. And they're off, and Sharia Moore, Katie Roses, Brienne the Beauty, Siboney from the outside, then Runaway Eris, and back to Ezra Express and Jamar Mockmel. Sharia Moore has got the lead, and Katie Roses gets to fill the pocket. Then Brienne the Beauty and Runaway Eris. Siboney is still working on the outside, wants to squeeze over to the pylons in front of Ezra Express, and was able to do so. And then Jamar Mockmel. Now they're in program order as they race on to the opening quarter. Sharia Moore went all the way down to 1-9 and leads it by about a length and 3/4. Katie Rose is second. Brienne the Beauty, Runaway Eris, and Siboney, Ezra Express, and Jamar Mockmel. 28-second opening quarter, and Sharia Moore and Travis Cullen is in command. They're all in a line as they race on towards us, and Katie Rose is happy to ride the pocket. Brienne the Beauty is on the inside third, and Runaway Eris fourth, and then it is Siboney, Ezra Express, and Jammer Mockmel. They're still in a line. 58-1 the halftime, and on into the backstretch they go. And Sharia Moore. Now that lead is about 2 1/4. Katie Rose is second, Brienne the Beauty third, Runaway Eris fourth, and no one's popped out just yet. And then Siboney, Ezra Express, and Jamar Mockmel. This field is getting spread out, and Sharia Moore leads comfortably as they roll on to 3/4. Katie Rose is second, then about 4 lengths, and that's Runaway Eris now, who's moved up first over, taking over third. And then it is Brienne the Beauty and Siboney as Brienne the Beauty backs away on the inside, back to fifth, and then Ezra Express and Jamar Mockmel. And Sharia Moore leads it by 2 1/4 of 3/4 of 126 and more, and it is Sharia Moore and Katie Roses. Sharia Moore, as they come to the finish, is going to win it. Katie Roses was second. Runaway Eris is third, and Siboney fourth. I got a little rough there at the finish, but I'll tell you, Sharia Moore was plenty smooth.
Yeah, right there, Gary?
Oh, I've never been right.
Well, you know what? I mean, listen, that was it was a pretty easy victory for Sharia Moore. I mean, you go off at 1-9. That money obviously came in late to put her down to that short of a price. She floated up to like 3-5, 4-5 with about 30 seconds to post. Gary and I was thinking, wow, this might actually, if this ever holds, this is actually value on her off her last effort. But no, down to 1-9. You know, much the best. Went out to the early lead. Like you said, they lined up a program order, which is not something you see very often, but they kind of stayed in that formation because no one really wants to sacrifice and take a shot at the horse that, you know, by all rights is supposed to go out there and crush. All you're going to do is actually hurt your own chances. So Katie Rose has got away in that 2-hole, ends up finishing in that spot. You know, and Runaway Harris, one I thought would come up with a better effort tonight, did, you know, improve position, ended up finishing third.
Yeah, and Runaway Eris is one that I doubted, but actually battled hard enough, and so I probably shouldn't have doubted. And then Siboney is the other one for the top four. But Jamar Mockmel at 50-1 is at least the inside five weren't all of the top 5 spots. But it was Sharia Moore as 6-year-old Mach 3 bay mare, owned and trained by Jared Mann. Travis Cullen with the winning drive. It's the 7th win for Sharia Moore this year and the 10th lifetime. 155-2. The sixth race pouch, 1 Sharia Moore, 220, 210, 210. 2 Katie Roses, 380, 270, and 4 Runaway Air 280, $2 exactor, $5, try, 645. The dollar win for, I forget the win for now, I was too slow. Dollar high five, 57.45. And the win for 404, 34.85. The sixth race order finished in the top. So 1, 2, 6, 3, 4, 7, 5. That's 1, 2, 6, 3, 4, 7, 5. Note the claim at 1 Sharia Moore, the new trainer Richard Moreau.
Sharia Moore gets home to the favorite player's delight in race number 6. Many claims entered. The public loved her. Everybody loved Sharia Moore, and she got it done with ease. But now we're going to move on to race number 7. It's the start of our late pick 4 wager, your last chance to play into one of those big multi-leg wager pools. So start mapping out your winning tickets, and this is the way that I see this late pick 4 sequence. And I'm going to go with 3 deep here in the opening leg. The 2 Calm Cool Collected, I think, on paper looks like the one to beat. The problem is that she's had 3 starts over a half-mile surface and made 2 breaks. So I don't want to be, married to her in here. So 3 deep with the 3 Angel with Attitude and the 4 Sayonara Angel, who I think actually has a bit of a chance in here at 19-1. But I'm actually going to side against the favorite on top as well. But I think you might want to go searching in here for a bigger price to start off this pick 4 wager. In the second leg, the 3 Moonshiner's Credit, I think, has been an improving type and racing much better as of late. I think she probably goes towards the lead again tonight. I think she might be able to close it out this time around. So going to single her Moonshiner's Credit to 3 in race number 8. The 2, 3, 5 in the 9th race, that's Glider Man, Tymo, Houdini, and Arcanum. I'm going to put Tymo Houdini on top. I like Arcanum as well. Got locked in last time. And then in race number 10, 4 deep, that's the money leg. 2, 4, 6, and 7. I think that the 7 is going to take a lot of support in there. However, post 7's no joke here at the river, so I want to be a little deeper and maybe get a price down. So using the 2, 4, and 6 as well, just in case Exotic Dragon just can't get there off that trip from the 7 hole. So $7.20 for a 20-cent wager there. Again, we're going to hang our hat on the 3 Moonshiner's Credit in race number 8 and take a stand against a couple of favorites throughout that sequence. You've got 2 minutes until the horse will be moving out onto the track for this upcoming 7th dash. We'll come back after the post parade. Take a closer look at the opening leg of the late pick 4 wager.
Field 4, race number 7 is on. Parade 1, Show Me Some Muscle, Paul McKenzie for Courtney Robson. Number 2 is Calm Cool Collected, Travis Gulliver, Sean Stacy, Mark Stacy, and Hudson Standardbrands. 3 is Angel with Attitude, Jason Ryan for Ron Corbett. And 4 is Sayonara Angel, Dan O'Brien, drives and trains and owns. And number 5 is R.J. Hooker, Tyler for Ruth Moore. Number 6, Allison Ann Hanover, Mark Etzel for Etzel Newton and Shantan, and Graham Hopkins and Peter Porter. And number 7 is Kiss My Mash, Rob Jenkins Jr. for Jay Poliferrani and Jimmy Poliferrani and Don Carswell and Ted Kane. And number 8 is Lovely Echo, Scott Culliver, Mike Healing, and Dreamville Stable and Karen Kell. And number 9 is the Pinball Wizard, Colin Kelly for Ivan Galan. Field of 9, race number 7, field of trotters, and let's get a look at this field. And Rob, I think this is a reasonably wide open dash. At least some of the main players, I wouldn't want to take one at a really short price. And we both have 3 Angel with Attitude, 5-2 on the board. Certainly the last 2 races were pretty solid.
Yeah, they have been good, and she on July 6th she went to the lead here, and she stopped at the front end. I thought it was a race she should have closed it out, but then we've kind of noticed in her last two she does a lot better when chasing, and she only got beat 3/4 of a length last time to All Our Wishes, who then moved up in class tonight and didn't race all that bad in the class above this. Angel with Attitude looks sharp on the track right now. Again, I think she's kind of knocking at the door to a victory in here. She's shown she can get around this surface very well. 2 to 1, I was hoping for a bigger price. 5 to 2, I'd say, is my threshold on her. So hopefully she does go up that point before post time. But yeah, I'm happy to be in her camp and might even play a couple of late pick 4 tickets singling her.
Number 4, Sayonara Angel. I didn't use this one in my top 4. You used this one for second. The fans, well, they're not enamored just yet, 15 to 1, but there's still some betting time. But certainly the last two races, well, last three, but especially the last two, was right there in the hunt.
Yeah, the pick 3 tells me she's not going to really take any wagering support, or at least anything significant. But the last three she's hit the board, but they've been good efforts. Okay, you go back July 29th, she was first over a long way to Arcanum. Now she got beat by almost 8 lengths to that rival, but Arcanum would be 1 to 9 in here with a bullet. So I think that you look at that and you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt and say, okay, well, after that, beating a length of Final Dream, I mean, she's not impossible in here. She's a horse that actually kind of figures off her recent form to be really competitive against this group. She's proven she can rough it first over. I just thought, in a race where there's a lot of horses that might have some question marks with some breaks. Now, granted, she does have breaks on her card as well. You might want to look for a bomb like Sayonara Angel, and I thought she should be probably around 7 or 8 to 1. You're getting double that right now at 16 to 1. So definitely a horse I'd be using in my exotics, maybe even putting a few dollars to win on.
Number 2, Calm, Cool, and Collected has been getting all the money in the betting cycle, or at least a big chunk of it, and has just one win of the year. That was a win in Maidens at Mohawk at the end of July.
Yeah, and it was a good effort. Don't get me wrong. Calm, Cool, Collected, I think, in an even playing field, I think she is clearly the one to beat in here, and there's no doubt about that. But the thing is, this is a half-mile surface. She's raced on a half-mile surface 3 times in her career. She's made 2 breaks. They both came at Western Fair in the City of London series. Last time, got around Georgian Downs okay, but ended up finishing 4th in a race. Well, look who was second in there, Sayonara Angel. So you're seeing 8 to 5 on the board on that filly, yet you're getting 11 to 1 on Sayonara Angel. So it's just it's kind of an interesting race, and one where I knew they would all come for the 2, and that horse would take all the support. I'm not so sure I want to be on her bandwagon because of that latest effort, and also because of the fact that she can make a miscue, and she's proven she can do that over this length of a surface.
And we both used one, Show Me Some Muscle, towards the bottom. Inside post that has some gate speed. The form is just okay, but that's been a ticket to get on the ticket here.
Yeah, rail control, a horse that's got tactical speed, and a big number at 19 to 1. I'll never leave one horse off my tickets when they're priced and they have enough speed to get a good spot off the gate. Simple as that.
We'll see if that pans out. I did use RJ Hooker, who is 8 to 1 is my second one, and you used Sayonara Angel as your second choice. But the rest of the way we kind of look at it similarly. So we'll see how that pans out. But we both have Angel with Attitude, and I think our attitude is that 3 to 1 is it's a price that we can live with. We'll see how it unfolds. Show Me Some Muscle, Calm, Cool, Collected, Angel with Attitude on the inside, Sayonara Angel and RJ Hooker in the center, Allison Ann Hanover, Kiss My Mass, and Lovely Echo on the outside, and the second tier, the Pinball Wizard. It's a field of 9 for race number 7, and they're at the start of the rough. Show Me Some Muscle, Calm, Cool, Collected, and then Sayonara Angel. Angel with Attitude and Kiss My Mass. They work around the turn, but Show Me Some Muscle is able to grab the early lead. Calm, Cool, Collected still works on the outside. Sayonara Angel. Angel with Attitude is 4th in the early action. Then it is RJ Hooker, the Pinball Wizard, Kiss My Mass, and then it is Allison Ann Hanover, and Lovely Echo is trailing trailing the field. Calm, cool, collected was able to collect the front spot as they raced to the opening quarter, 28-2. And Show Me Some Muscle at 15-1 will race the pocket. Sayonara Angel is third. Then about 6 lengths back, Angel with Attitude. And R.J. Hooker, the Pinball Wizard, Kiss My Mass, and then Allison and Hanover and Lovely Echo. They race off the turn. Calm, Cool, Collected, and Travis Cullen is cool on the lead. R.J. Hooker went off stride, and Show Me Some Muscle is racing right there close in the pocket. Sayonara Angel is third, and then it is Angel with Attitude who's positioned fourth, and then the Pinball Wizard of a half of 57-4. Into the backstretch they go, and it is Calm, Cool, Collected. Show Me Some Muscle. Sayonara Angel says sayonara to the pylons and moves out, and then Angel with Attitude is moving up now, getting a little bit closer, and then racing fifth is the Pinball Wizard, and sixth is Lovely Echo. 3/4, 128-1. Calm, Cool, Collected. Sayonara Angel at 15-1 is battling to take second from Show Me Some Muscle on the inside, and then 3 wide. Angel with Attitude is trying to close on Calm, Cool, Collected. It is Calm, Cool, Collected getting submerging. Angel with Attitude now as they come on down the stretch drive. Angel with Attitude in pursuit of Calm, Cool, Collected. Angel with Attitude had a winner's attitude. Show Me Some Muscle up the inside to get second. 3 across the track for third. Angel with Attitude came flying late, and I think we could see it coming, Rob.
Yeah, we could see it coming. I mean, listen, I thought it was worth a flyer on the 4 Sayonara Angel. And listen, I love the effort there, right? Dan O'Brien got away in the 3-hole, tried to win the race by pulling first over, but also, gave live cover for part of the mile to the 3 Angel with Attitude. You could see Calm, Cool, Collected was kind of under urging for, quite a bit of that, and, the second half of that race anyways. And looked like she was a horse that wanted to get caught, and that's what happened, right? And this is one that's been knocking at the door, been doing good things for Jason Ryan the latter part of the miles, and tonight she gets the job done under relatively tight lines. And Show Me Some Muscle, a horse that we said, Gary, rail, price, sit a trip. It's exactly what happened, and we see another 15-1 shot work their way into the underneath position.
Yeah, and it's always good to get a couple that are getting action split, and Show Me Some Muscle does it because Calm, Collected raced well, but it ran out of gas, but did stick around for a third. It'll be close for fourth. It's either the 8 or the 5. I wasn't sure, but I was, Christine says 8. Lovely Echo at 25-1. But the inside 3, but I thought Angel with Attitude was the story. Also interesting to note, Jason Ryan left enough, but then he wasn't worried about staying up with the front 3. Let there be a gap in front of him because he knows that this one, Angel with Attitude, this filly is really a closer. He didn't want to get up with that pace.
Yeah, there was really no need to, right? And I mean, he like you said, left a pretty big gap there. They were going a good clip, 28-2, 57-4. And he knows the filly he's got, and he knows the way she's been closing into them, and he drove that one pretty confidently. I mean, like you said, on the turn there, we were pretty sure she was going to come away with the victory, and we were hoping for, maybe a shade higher at 5-2, but at the end of the day, 2-1 on a going away winner. We'll take that, right, Gary?
Absolutely. Coming back in front of us is number 3, Angel with Attitude. It's a 3-year-old Archangel black filly, owned by Ron Corbett of St. Jacobs. It's the second win this year in Lifetime. Angel with Attitude. And it is the driving double for Jason Ryan, 2 on the night for Ricky Bobby. Pose for the frame. The seventh race, payouts 3 Angel with attitude, 690, 460, and 280. 1, show me some muscle, $13 and 552. Calm Cool collected 260. Dollar pick 3, 3 of 3, 20, 10. $2 exactor is 64.20. Dollar drive 94.60. Dollar super 760.30. Seventh race order finish from the top 231 678 945. That's 231 678 945. Field for the eighth on Parade 1. Etam Zelli, Paul McKenzie for Terry Gillette, and Alan Kepfer. Number 2 is CU Princess. Bo Brown drives and trains and owns. And 3 is Moonshiners. Credit Scott Calder for Michelle Sherman and Sean Hyatt and Dave Simpson. And 4 is Lily's Penelope Talaborth for Sheldon Rose. And 5 is Show Me Some Magic. Travis Henry for Bruce Cleaver. And number 6, Century Havana. Rob Jenkins Jr. for William Burgess. Field of 6, race number 8. And Rob, we're going to have to sound a little smarter here for the 8th race because we have the scholarship recipients, a bunch of young, smart kids out trackside. So let's get some wise-sounding words here on this 8th race, starting with number 3, Moonshiners Credit.
And of course, we picked one of the trickier races on the night, Gary, for that. But yeah, Moonshiner's Credit is one that I singled in the late pick for, and I really like her chances tonight because number one, I think she's going to be pointed towards the front by Scott Coulter, and I thought she's been racing, a lot better in her last 3. She's been, second in 2 of those efforts. Last time faded to 3rd. But again, I think with Scott Coulter back in the bike and that early foot being utilized, she could be tough to catch in here. It's kind of a difficult field to handicap because you have a lot of horses racing in condition claimers and some horses coming from other tracks. So I wanted to be on the side of one I thought would be going to the front end. And, 3-1 was a nice number. 5-2 is okay, but I wouldn't want to get too much lower than that. I think this is a race you don't want to take anyone in a short number.
Well, Rob, I'm glad that we don't have the same one in here because I'm down 1. You've got 5 winners to my 4, and CU Princess is my play to get even here. One that wasn't racing very well and then went up to Georgian Downs and was really good last time out.
Yeah, you would have saw that one, and it was a real big effort getting placed up, to the victory after finishing second, but it raced well enough to really earn a victory in that contest. And the thing about CU Princess is I know that you've been a fan of her for quite a while, and you were kind of expecting her to turn it around at some point. Just needed some class relief in order to do that, and like you said, and it was a much better effort last time. Win her own mile in 56-1. How does that translate here? Well, it won't be likely as fast, but I mean, we might see her bust out of there early. She might see the 2-hole. Maybe she tries to cut it. Either way, I think she's going to be right there at the finish, and she's probably found a spot that she can be more than competitive in.
Number 4, Lily's Penelope, shows enough recent form to be a consideration, and to get to Tyler Borth, who's having a very fine year. This is one that's 6-1, so that's a little better value than the first couple.
Yeah, and I thought she would offer the value in the race. I didn't think we'd see the morning line of 8-1, but maybe we will. She's up to 7-1 now, and in good form as of late. And I don't really think there's a tremendous amount of depth to this field. And what I mean by that is, as a claiming handicap goes, where she's been racing, a lot of these horses have been racing on the condition side of it. So I think that she's got a chance in here. And 7-1, maybe that's the right number you're supposed to take in a race like this. It's a 6-horse field, but one where the margin between the best horse and the worst horse probably isn't that much. So, I do have the 3, the 5-2 shot right now, single in the pick 4. But if I was playing the race vertically, I'd look for a pretty, good price. And right now, Lily's Penelope is providing that at 8-1.
Number 1, Etam Zelli is taking money, but I haven't seen enough gate speed from her of late to use her on the inside.
Yeah, that's the problem with Edom Zelli, right? You like when you play a rail horse here, a horse in the pole position, and you get excited about that starting spot. You want to see them have speed. Now this spot can create speed. She did get away 3rd at Hanover from the rail. I just haven't seen enough from her in the early stages to think she's going to be, pushing out of there enough to, be 1st or 2nd in the early going. And I'm not so sure she can be able to do it the way she did it last time when that day was aboard during the Ontario Women's Drivers' Championship. So I thought Edom Zelli might be a fade in here if she goes off at a short price, and right now she's a co-favorite at 3-1.
And number 6 Century Havana is the longest shot on the board and comes in off of a win in this class at Georgian Downs from off the pace. So that's an interesting note. But right now, Edam Sally is the 5-2 favorite. I've got See You Princess, and Rob's got Moonshiner's Credit taking up their positions. Etam Zelly, See You Princess on the inside. In the center, Moonshiner's Credit, Lily's Penelope to the outside, Show Me Some Magic, and Century Havana. It's a field of 6 for the 8th race. They're at the start of the round. Lily's Penelope, See You Princess, Moonshiner's Credit, Etam Jelly, Show Me Some Magic, and Century Havana. But See You Princess, seen on the early lead. Moonshiner's Credit now tucks into the pocket. Etam Jelly is third away. Lily's Penelope, then Show Me Some Magic, and Century Havana. It's See You Princess at 8-5 on the board. Bo Brown's got the lead. Advantages at 2 right now. Moonshiner's Credit is second. Etam Jelly third, then Lily's Penelope, Show Me Some Magic, and Century Havana is trailing 27-4 as the opening quarter. And See You Princess and Bo Brown, this field of 6, looks for his second panel breather out that 27-4 opening quarter. Moonshiner's Credit's in the pocket. Etam Jelly is still on the inside in front of Lily's Penelope, then Show Me Some Magic, and Century Havana has to pass them all to win. See You Princess moseying on up to the half, and the halftime was recorded in 58-1, a 30-2 second panel. See You Princess, Moonshiner's Credit is content to sit right there, nose to helmet in the pocket, and to the outside now, Show Me Some Magic is up to third. Etam Jelly is racing fourth, then Lily's Penelope and Century Havana. It is See You Princess as they race toward 3/4. Moonshiner's Credit gets brave in the pocket. Show Me Some Magic to the outside now. Has moved up and is taken over second. Is only a length back. Moonshiner's Credit to the inside third. And then Etam Jelly. 3/4, 128-1. A 30-second third panel. Etam Jelly is sent out 3 wide. It is See You Princess as they turn for home. See You Princess. Now Etam Jelly. Show Me Some Magic. And Moonshiner's Credit is looking for the passing lane on down the stretch. They come. See You Princess on the outside. Etam Jelly. Etam Jelly is going to win it. And then Moonshiner's Credit, Show Me Some Magic, and See You Princess. Etam Jelly 4-1 on the board. We kind of doubted Etam's Jelly, Rob, and well, I guess, we were wrong.
Yeah, we were certainly wrong. And the thing is, you didn't really need to have the speed if you're going to get that perfect second over toe. From Show Me Some Magic, and that was live cover, right? Really live cover, because that one advanced and kept on grinding away in the first over position. And I kind of doubted that Etam's Ellie would get a similar journey that she got in the start on August the 12th, but she ended up getting a very similar one and ended up getting to the wire first at what ended up being a nice price of 4-1. After taking a lot of support. So. A horse that I kind of thought was one to use underneath ends up getting the job done.
And actually your pick of Moonshiner's Credit, Scotty sat the pocket, and it was probably the wise thing to do, but the problem of the one on the outside we mentioned before kind of gets the jump off the turn, and you have to wait until you can get into the passing lane. You don't have quite the momentum.
No, you don't. And it was trip handicapping, right? I looked for a race where I thought that people were going a lot of directions, and I'm gonna take a shot on singling one there. And Moonshiner's Credit went off at 3-1. I can't ask for a better trip. Ended up securing that 2-hole early on. Like you said, I don't know if she could have beat Etam's Ellie either way. She did get up to be second, and it's hard to kind of come from a standstill in that pocket and get the better of one that's flying on the outside. But I can't be upset by the effort. It just was the wrong result.
Well, the only one that seems to know how to really master that passing lane and didn't use it this time is Paul McKenzie. He's the king of the passing lane, but this time it was the second over trip for Paul McKenzie, and it back in front of us is one Etam's Ellie, a 6-year-old sports rider bay mare owned by Alan Kepfer, trained by Terry Gallant. It's the third win this year, 12th lifetime. Etam's Ellie, and the winning drive to Paul McKenzie. Trackside for the 8th race winners photo, the Grand River Ag Society scholarship recipients. Congratulations to all of those smart, fine young people with their scholarships. The 8th race, pound 20 times Ellie, 1060, 533, 10 to 3 Moonshiners credit, $4 to 60, 5. Show me some magic, 260, $2 exactor, $34.50 try, 58.15 $15 super, 136.15. 8th race. Order of finish in the top 142536. That's 142536. Field 4, race 9 on parade 1. Lucky Rascal, Ryan DeRocher, Peter Brickman, and Aaron Swainson Brickman. And number 2 is Glider Man, Paul McKenzie, Terry Gallant, and Jennifer Doyle and Danny Burt. Number 3 is Tom Houdini, Colin Keller, Steve Bossens, and ECS Racing. 4 is scratched. And number 5, Arcanum, John Laborth for Christine Anderson and Ken Weiss. And number 6, Sheena Soldier, Scott Culver, Tim Cherwaco, and Gary Green. Field of 5, race number 9. Well, fans number 3, Rob, number 3, Tamil Houdini is the one the fans are all over. 1-2 on the board. I think he stacks up really well here, and that hasn't escaped anyone's attention.
Yeah, he definitely does. And I thought the morning line was probably a little generous on this one, and I thought we'd see this one bet into favoritism just because, last time it's a pop-up event at Mohawk Park, and now getting back to Grand River, and I think that this is the kind of level we usually see Tamil Houdini go out there and dominate in, and he was racing in preferred ranks not too long ago. Even got a win over Western Fair back on May 31st in the preferred three. Just looks like he stacks up well against this group. I think we're going to see him, busting out of there early on, and it'll be difficult to beat. Looks strong on the track right now, Gary, and looks like he'll go off as an odds-on choice in here.
And then we went to Arcanum both for second, and understandably so. Raced well here last race, got placed back, but still raced well, and was a crushing winner here July the 29th. Back-to-back wins.
Yeah, it was back-to-back wins. The first one was at Hanover, and then the win here was a real good one. I mean, he was under wraps to the wire to Tyler Borth, and then went over to that same pop-up series. Didn't have much success there at 24-1. And last time, I was on him, went off as the favorite, ended up getting locked in, and followed the winner, inside that Ren pile line at the head of the stretch, which can create a passing lane violation, and there was a double DQ, which is very rare here at the river, and this was one of the horses that got disqualified. So I thought Arcanum has been racing really well, and the value on the board right now, in my opinion, is certainly with him, 7-1, because I think he's got a winning chance in here, and definitely the one that I'd be focusing on underneath if you think that Tamil Houdini is unbeatable.
And number 2, Glider Man, is one that should be able to get out pretty quickly. Set the pace in each of the last couple. One of them was a romping win here below this class, but still a win of 8 lengths.
Yeah, it was a nice victory, no question about it. Nat Day aboard, on the evening of the Ontario Women's Driving Championship. So, again, beat easier. This is a much more difficult group, but does he figure in here at least to get a piece underneath? Of course he does, because he's got post 2, he's got early foot, and I think he can really work out a nice favorable journey. For me, more like a player in the exacta or trifecta, but one you can't ignore in the exotics.
Number 1, Lucky Rascal, is the one you used on the bottom, and but the thing with Lucky Rascal, had post 1 last race and didn't leave, but you do see some gate speed a little further down, so we'll see if there's a bit of gate speed here this time for Lucky Rascal.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised he didn't leave last time, and he was a horse that I thought might be able to factor in to the bottom end of the exotics at a big price, and now this time around that price is shriveled up, right, from the same spot, in the same class. So you go from 27-1 now to 7-1. So I thought maybe he'd be a value play underneath again tonight. It's not happening right now, but he is capable of leaving. So you look at the lines and say, well, last time didn't leave out. He's capable of actually busting out of there. So if he does, he might be able to sit a nice trip, maybe behind Tamil Houdini, or sit in the 3-hole, hide out, and then charge late for a piece of it.
Well, it is a field of 5 for the 9th race. Scratched is number 4. And taking up their positions, Lucky Rascal, Glider Man on the inside on the center, Tamil Houdini. To the outside, Arcanum and Sheena Soldier. It's a field of 5 for race number 9. It is post time. Field for the 9th race is into the stretch drive, gathering speed. There at the start of the rough, Tamil Houdini, Glider Man, Arcanum on the inside, Lucky Rascal, and Sheena Soldier, but Glider Man is able to grab the early lead, and Tamil Houdini is racing position 2nd, Lucky Rascal 3rd, Glider Man on down the backstretch they go. Glider Man, Tamil Houdini is racing 2nd, Lucky Rascal is on the inside 3rd, in front of Arcanum. Sheena Soldier is back there marching from a trail trailing spot. They race on past the opening quarter. Gliderman and Paul McKenzie's got the lead, but Timel Houdini is right there in the pocket, nose to helmet. Lucky Rascal is racing third. Then it is Arcanum and Sheena Soldier, and they race their way off the turn, and they roll on towards us, and Gliderman as they race off the turn and come on towards us. Timel Houdini in the pocket. Here comes Arcanum now. He's going to work first over. Lucky Rascal is fourth on the inside, and Sheena Soldier is still trailing the field. Halftime was 58 seconds, a 30-1 second panel. Glider Man, Arcanum to the outside, pressuring. Timel Houdini is still in the pocket, patiently racing in the back of Glider Man, and then it is Lucky Rascal and Sheena Soldier. It is Glider Man on down the back stretch to go. Glider Man, Arcanum a length and 3/4 back. Glider Man continues on. Timel Houdini on the inside, and Timel Houdini now gets a little urging from Colin Kelly to come up and fill the gap in behind Glider Man. From the backfield, Sheena Soldier comes marching out there 3 wide, and Sheena Soldier has come on to take over second and is bearing down on Glider Man. Glider Man and Sheena Soldier as they come on down the stretch drive. Glider Man on the inside, Sheena Soldier on the outside as they come on to the finish. Sheena Soldier is the one we see at the finish, winning it. Won it 38-1 last week and wins this week at 9-2. Gliderman was second. Timel Houdini and Lucky Rascal. Sheena Soldier, a field of 5. We talked about 4 of them. We didn't talk about Sheena Soldier because, well, last time out, inherited the win, moved up from second to first, but still it was a nice closing effort, as was this one.
Yeah, I think that Sheena Soldier has found a new racing style. A horse that, he's been good on the lead before. He had a front-end victory, just 3 starts back, and but last 2 raced him out the pace. I could see, actually, Gary, at the start of the final turn, I said, this race is all over. I mean, Sheena Soldier's going to go right past him because, he caught a pretty high gear off that turn, and you could see he was going to coast by at the wire. Like you said, he inherited the victory last time, was still a decent second. With 38-1 on that occasion, now 9-2 here tonight. I mean, listen, it's a head scratcher for me. I couldn't get there, but it's one of those ones where you look at it afterwards and say, well, horse just won in this class last time. Granted, he got placed up. He probably deserved a little more respect from us.
Yeah, he didn't get the respect, but now he's going to get the respect of coming back and getting his picture taken. It is a 6-2, 3-1, and Gliderman is one that raced pretty darn well. Paul McKenzie got this one to the front, and Timel Houdini, sat the pocket, but just it didn't work out.
No, it didn't, and he might be one that's just kind of needing to find his form, and it looked like this might be a spot that he might get his confidence back, but. Maybe those recent efforts, might just be that he's kind of tailed off a bit and maybe needs even an easier spot to get back to the winner's circle, because really probably should have done a little better off that trip. When he didn't make the lead off the gate, I knew that, maybe he'd be in some trouble in there. Glider Man, I thought, got away from him to the point that he was going to win until I saw the move of Sheena Soldier starting to wind up. So nice victory, back-to-back in the class, and one to keep an eye on going forward.
Well, back in front of us, number 6, Sheena Soldier. 5-year-old father Patrick Bay-Gelding, owned by Gary Green and Tim Cherwaco. Tim is also the trainer. Scotty Coulter. The Tan Tornado storms to victory with Sheena Soldier in the 9th race. It's the 3rd win this year, 9th lifetime, mile of 157-1. Ninth race, payout 6, Sheena Soldier, 11-10, 520 and 280, 2 Gliderman, 430 and 270 and 3 Timel Houdini, 210, $2 exactor, 42.40, dollar try, 48.60, dollar super, 129.90. Ninth race, Sora finish from the top. 4-2-3, scratch 5-1. That's 4-2-3, scratch 5-1. Field for race number 10 on Parade 1, Carnival Heart, Brent McDonough for Julie Walker and Darlene Carr. Number 2 is Lifelong Dream, Child aboard for Greg Merlot. Number 3 is Cat Nick Boyd for James Dean and Wilma and James McKenzie. And number 4 is Cowgirl Lily, Colin Kelly for Chantel Mitchell and Decision Theory and Daniel Serafina and Gary Volpe. And number 5, Society Jill, Bo Brown for Ben Hollingsworth and Michael Goldberg. Number 6, Serious Star, Mike Horner for Mark Horner and Douglas Wilson. And number 7, Exotic Dragon, Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen and Ron Cullen and Paul Sanders. And 8 is Can't Stop the Feelin', Scott Calder for Courtney Bishop. It's a field of 8, race number 10. Well, the fans think it's a 2-horse race, and I have the 4 and you have the 7, Rob. So let's talk about 7 Exotic Dragon. You're going with the tougher post, but you also get the hot driver and trainer and a horse that won 11 times last year.
Yeah, this is an interesting race, Gary, because I think that Exotic Dragon is the best in here, but we know this post can kind of, cause havoc. I mean, it's not as bad as the 8-hole, but the 7-hole, isn't that much better. And she's coming in from Mohawk Park. We've seen this work many times this year, but she was racing in the bottom condition there, and the best she's been able to do is 4th. So she is, kind of off form as well. So, in my pick 4 wager, I went 4 deep in here. And the reason why I didn't side against her was I couldn't really find one to hang my hat on to go against Exotic Dragon. I just think that the trip might not be ideal, but she might still be able to overcome it because I think she is the best in here. And also, we've seen the Cullen crush job many times in this situation. A horse coming over to the river, dropping down against easier competition, and then kind of elevates their game to get their confidence back. So I think we might see that here. The betting's going to come from her. The money's going to flow in. She's 9-5 now. I wouldn't be surprised, if she goes down closer to even money come post time.
Number 6, Serious Star, has been inconsistent. The last race wasn't good, so maybe this one will be.
Yeah, the last one was kind of interesting, though. Like, she got forwardly placed, and that's against the boys, right? I mean, she's racing against some pretty good competition there. Clinton in that spot. 2 back. She went a long way in the lead before getting caught by He's a Handyman. And I just think that, this isn't the worst spot for her, competition-wise, but it's also not the best spot for her post position-wise because I think she's at her best when she's forwardly placed. I'm just not so sure it's going to happen from post 6 tonight.
Number 4, Cowgirl Lily is my top one. Disappointed as the favorite here last time up, but Layla Blue and State of Mind are okay. But Cowgirl Lily, this will be the 3rd start for Chantel Mitchell.
Yeah, I think the Cowgirl Lily is interesting in here, and 9-5 to me is still an overbet. I thought the effort last time was a good one. Got away 4th from the trailing post, ended up, overland before finishing 3rd. She disappointed as an even money favorite. She's going to get bet down, it looks like, again tonight. Right now she's 9-5. I think if she goes any lower than that, well, I certainly couldn't be backing her. But would I be shocked if she goes out and win this race? Absolutely not, because I think she does have the better of the post of the main players in here.
I couldn't find a Lifelong Dream on my top one, so explain it to me. 22-1.
I just thought Lifelong Dream's been, racing okay as of late. Last time, trailing post at Clinton ended up finishing 5th. Before that, was a decent 2nd. And really, it comes down to post. I was looking at the horses towards the inside of the gate that might be able to maybe get forwardly placed in a trip and get a big piece of that at price, right? Right now, we're seeing the inside 3 spots here at Grand River Raceway at 14-1 or higher. I'd be shocked if one of them doesn't make their way onto the ticket somewhere, and maybe more than one of them actually do at a price. So I went with Lifelong Dream, but wouldn't be surprised if one of the other inside horses actually hit the ticket as well.
And 5, Society Jill drops in. We saw this one romp here back against Tougher earlier in the meet.
Yeah, and she's one that, might be able to elevate her game. I've been disappointed with her as of late. but this is an easier spot, right? And that can be the just what the doctor ordered. 11-1, certainly an overlay, a horse that probably should be about 4 or 5-1 in here.
Well, right now the tote board does have it as a two-horse race. I think it's more wide open than that. Cowgirl Lily, 9-5 is the favorite. Your number 7 Exotic Dragon is a close second choice at 2-1. Carnival Heart with position on the inside. Lifelong Dream and Cat center. Cowgirl Lily, Society Jill to the outside. Series Star, Exotic Dragon, and Can't Stop the Feeling. It's a field of 8. 10th race. Top of the stretch. Here they come.
Giddy up, Gary Guy.
Field for the 10th race is at the start of the robin. Cowgirl Lily is moving early. Carnival Heart along to the inside. Lifelong Dream, Sirius Star. The field sprints around that first turn. Carnival Heart and Cowgirl Lily and Sirius Star with a serious 3-wide bid in the early action. Cowgirl Lily wants to come on and clear to the front and is able to do so, but Sirius Star continues to drive to the outside. Sirius Star is now going to come on and get the front for my corner. Then Cowgirl Lily, Carnival Heart, and back and forth as Lifelong Dream. Then Society Jill and Cat and second last Exotic Dragon. Can't Stop the Feeling is trail in the field. Sirius Star, 27-4. Opening quarter, Cowgirl Lily, 4-5 favorite now. Rides the pocket, and Carnival Heart is racing third. Lifelong Dream is positioned fourth as they reel off the turn and come on towards us. And then Society Jill now is going to work first over and giving cover to Exotic Dragon. Then Cat on the inside. Can't Stop the Feel in his trail in the field. 57-4. 32nd half second panel as they race on into the backstretch. It is Sirius Star, and Cowgirl Lily is racing second. Is about 2 1/4 back of Sirius Star. Then popping out, Carnival Heart is underway now, and Society Jill is going to roll out. Now Society Jill is coming, and Exotic Dragon is going to roll 3 wide right now, and Exotic Dragon is now breathing fire. Is out there 3 wide and is closing. It is Sirius Star. Exotic Dragon now to the outside. Cowgirl Lily is on the inside, still in the pocket on the back of Sirius Star. 3/4, 127-1. Sirius Star on the outside. Exotic Dragon, and then also coming from the backfield is Can't Stop the Feeling. Center of the track, Society Jill. Passing lane, Cowgirl Lily on down the stretch route they come. Exotic Dragon. Exotic Dragon got there. Sirius Star was second, or at least in a place photo with Can't Stop the Feeling. And then Cowgirl Lily won 56-1. Exotic Dragon was not up close early, but managed to get a decent enough trip and then roll off cover when it mattered, Rob. And that was a nice effort by Travis Cullen.
Yeah, it really was. It was a nice effort by Exotic Dragon. You know, it kind of had stalled cover for part of the mile. Then it kind of livened up a bit. And then obviously when he flipped the switch, you know, it kind of got hung out wide to that final turn, but then paced on nicely in the stretch. And really just class prevails, right? I mean, she's the best in here on paper. The concern was post 7. She overcame, you know, a difficult overland journey to get the job done. It wasn't the patented Cullen crush job, but it was still a victory. And I thought she'd get bet down to odds on at post time. She maintained a decent price at 8-5, all things considered.
Yeah, for Cowgirl Lily, got down to 4-5 and had the pocket. Really didn't even sprint up the pocket. So Cowgirl Lily did not live up to the 4-5.
No, like I said, you know, she was a decent effort enough last time, but really hasn't been on form enough for me to get too excited about her at a short price. Like I said, you had to demand a better number than that 4-5 on her. And you know, Sirius Star kept going for second, and you know, she was one that I thought had a real big chance in there. I wasn't so sure if the front end tactics would be what gets deployed tonight. It was, and she went a long way in the lead at 7-1.
Well, it was strange for you to have 7-6 as your top 2 as your picks here when I looked at it, and well, I guess strange was fine.
Yeah, it was strange, but sometimes strange works out, right? I mean, just the way it kind of figured in there. I thought the 2 best horses drew towards the outside, and they ended up finishing 1-2.
Back in front of us is number 7 Exotic Dragon, 4-year-old Custard, the Dragon Bay mare, owned by Travis Cullen and Ron Cullen and Paul Sanders. Jody Cullen's the trainer, Travis Cullen the winning drive. It's the 4th win this year, 15th lifetime. Exotic Dragon, 156-1. The 10th race payout, 7 Exotic Dragon, 540. 350, 376 Serious Star, 590, 620, 8 Can't Stop the Feelin', $21. The exactor of Exotic Dragon and Serious Star, a $2 exactor ticket. 83.10 dollar try, 753.70. $2 double, 32.90. The dollar win for 376.75 at a 20-cent high five, 5,365.90. Ka-ching. The 10th race over finish from the top, 758 46213. That's 758 46213. Well, fans, that concludes the live harness racing program. There is the photo for fourth. Note that live racing resumes on Monday. No racing on Friday. Live action resumes on Monday at 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, everybody. Good night, Christine.